Good morning, it's Kyle Coberline, a truck and RV sales consultant at Bluegrass International in Georgetown, Kentucky. Today I am in Gulf State Park in Alabama. Gulf State Park is between Orange Beach, Alabama and Gulf Shores, Alabama. We've been down here for almost a week. As you can tell, I've got a beautiful tan and I'm a little scruffy because when we're camping, we're just having a good time. I'm not trying to look like I'm going out to a five-star dinner. I've got the map behind me here, but I'm gonna do a quick tour of the park. And I took some short videos during the week, just showing the pool and the pier and stuff that I'll add in here as well. But I'll show you this map behind me, and we'll talk about kind of what they have here at the park. But this place is awesome. I mean, this is a cool park, and we'll definitely be coming back and bringing our kiddos. So they've got these maps throughout the park, which is nice because the park is covered with, don't quote me on this, but I was told somewhere around 28 miles of bike trails. Most of it is improved, so being paved, and then there's some that are unimproved trail, like more suitable for hiking. The unimproved trails are pretty sandy, so unless you got a fat tire bike, they're a little hard to navigate with your standard road bike or mountain bike. So you can see, there we go, here's the U, here's where I am. I'm up here where you come, I'm basically next to where you check in when you come to the park, which is right over here. Hard to miss, there's a big water tower as you're coming in, so it's a good reference point when you're out riding all the trails of kind of like where you are in the park, because you can usually see that water tower. But so when you come in, you'll check in, they give you your site and stuff, and then they'll give you a car pass to put in your windshield so that when you're coming and going, they know that you're staying. What's really cool about that car pass is it gets you free parking at the Fishing and Education Pier, which I got a video clip of us out on the pier. And then at the free parking at the beach pavilion. We spent 3 days down here camping at, not camping, down here at the beach. Bicyclists rode by and distracted me. But we spent 3 days down here digging in the sand and having a good time. It just makes it easy because you get that pass because you're actually camping at the state park. And then same thing for the pier. And all along through here is just awesome beach access. We also spent a day down at the beach by the pier. We thought that'd be kind of cool playing in the sand. You have to be at least 100 yards from the pier if you're going to enter the water. The whole time we've been here, the water's been kind of on the rougher side, so we've more or less been just playing in the edge of the water and just digging in the sand. Of course, we walked out the pier and we saw people catching fish. I mean, they were pulling some fish in. I don't know if it was a lot of desirables, but it was cool to see some kids and some adults catching some fish out there on the pier. But yeah, we've pretty much, at this point, we've pretty much biked the entire campground, well, the state park, and it's been awesome. I mean, this is a cool place to come, and definitely don't leave your bikes at home. But I'll do a quick, I'll ride my one wheel. I've got my one wheel over here, and we'll ride through the park. Tons of e-bike people riding. I've seen Segway tours. Of course, people ride normal bicycles. So this is a cool place. So I'm riding up here towards the front of the park where you come in on 182, which is that road that stretches between Orange Beach and Gulf Shores, Alabama. You can see right behind me is that water tower. I gotta always tell people, so like I'm on vacation with my family when I do a lot of these videos, just because I would never leave my kids at home and come to a cool state park. So it's in the morning while my kids are, I got another kid on the way, so I get in the habit of saying kids now. But, I always do these videos while my wife and my kiddo are sleeping. That way they're getting to sleep in, and I'm getting to do a little video of the park and go out for a morning ride. I am not the most morning person in the world, so bear with me when I stumble a little bit in some of my videos, because typically they're in the early hours of the day, and not when my brain is actually fully functioning. So I'm up at the entrance of the campground, where you come in, and of course you can park up here in the front, and there is a crosswalk to go over to the beach, so there's beach access. We went over there last night and we're looking for crab, and yes, we know better than to use white lights. It is okay to use a red light if you want to look for stuff on the beach. Obviously, if you see any kind of sea turtles, because it is nesting season in May, to leave them alone and go the way. This is such a highly trafficked area. We really didn't see any sea turtles or anything, but we did find some small crabs, and we let them go. We did not harm them. My kid just likes looking at them and stuff. Throughout the park, you'll notice they have those maps where you can kind of check where you are. And I am keeping a lookout for what's around me, because we did see a cottonmouth at the pool, not in the pool, but like off to the side of the pool in the grass. We have seen an alligator here in the park, so there are alligators in Gulf State Park. I saw a snake on a trail. I think he looked pretty harmless. I think he might have been some form of rat snake. So I am being aware of what's around me. Alligators don't bother me so much because you're big and you can see them. It's the sneaky snakes that always kind of make me a little nervous. And I know some people could care less, but I'm just not a big snake person. Throughout the park, they've got these signs where it points like what's in those directions. So for example, if I was to go out this boardwalk, this would take me over to like a picnic area in the park, and they have a really cool campground over there where we've gone and my kids played. But you know, and I have some video footage that I'll add into this. It shows the playground area over there. See, so you can see that water tower in the distance. That's what I was talking about. And my kid is 4. He's a genius. I know everybody thinks their kids are geniuses, but like he'll see that water tower when we're out like riding bikes and stuff, and like reference, like he knows to use a reference point. Like we know that's at the entrance of the campground. So you can it's cool to be able to have that landmark so you can kind of tell where you are when you're out biking, because I mean 28 miles, you can go pretty far. So I should have mentioned when I was up there at the front of the campground entrance, you know, if you took a right out of the campground, you know, the lodge is right there on the left on the beach. And then if you take a left, that takes you down to the beach pavilion, which is, you know, the beach pavilion is one of the places you can use your parking pass to park for free. And also if you go to the right on the other side of the lodge, you have your pier. And if you take a picture of your parking pass for the campground, you can show that at the pier, and you don't have to pay to go out on the pier either. So that's a nice little benefit too of staying in the state park at the campground. Here's your sign for the campground coming in. So yeah, I'll show you another one of these signs. These are all throughout the park. It's really cool because you can easily see the map and it says you. And so you can quickly see kind of where you are in reference to the state park, especially when you're riding your bikes around everywhere. I mean, I really can't give this campground or park enough kudos. You know, we've had a blast the whole week we've been here, and we went out to eat twice, but for the most part we did the state park thing. I mean, we had a blast. Their pool's awesome. So it is, but it's well organized. Apparently somebody mentioned to me, and I don't know if this is true, but I guess after Katrina they got a lot of hurricane money, and a lot of the trail system went in. So I'm coming in the main road towards the check-in from when you come to the campground. They've got a lane to the far left where you just go through. They see your pass on your dash and they wave you through. And then they've got a cabled off section that for all the new people coming in, you know, to get checked in and stuff, and send you off to your campsite. And they've got a parking area over here, I'm assuming for overflow in case your site's not ready, depending on when you come in and want to park your motorhome, and you know, if you're towing a car or driving off to go do something for the day. So in the campground, and this is one of those unimproved trails, so it's kind of what you have to expect, and they get pretty sandy in some spots, so kind of hard to ride on a skinny tire bicycle. But what I wanted to point out here is you've got this main road that comes to the campground, and if I'd have known this, I'd have booked a different site. This goes basically straight back through the campground, and the speed limit is 15 miles an hour. Most people don't abide by 15 miles an hour. We've had several people come moving pretty quickly through the campground. We're on this main road. I got a 4-year-old that's riding a bicycle. It's kind of annoying. I mean, it's just, you know, I wish people would slow down. They're in a campground. This is a family atmosphere. So next time I ever come down, I will not be camping on the main road, especially more towards the front of the campground, just because there's so much traffic coming in and out. Now, if I was, you know, obviously I'd want to book a site that's off one of these loops, just because you get so much less traffic. That is site 1 right there, just for reference. Site 2. They got these really nice bathhouses throughout the park you can use as well. That's site 3. And then you have these sites over here that are all on the lakefront. waving to the kiddo. Site 6 here with this gray truck. You know, these are a little bit harder sites to get. I mean, even though this campground has hundreds of sites, it's not the easiest in the world to get into. It's a very popular destination. I've talked to several people while I've been down here, whether it be at the pool or out biking around, that this is an annual trip for them. They already know what sites they love, so they try to come back to the same place. My wife we were talking about, oh, it'd be cool to have a lakefront site. Well, we saw an alligator out there. And so, you know, she's like, I kind of like our site that's off the water. You know, it's less chances of, you know, I feel like it's pretty, you know, use common sense. You know, if you see an alligator, just keep your distance. I mean, if it's going to be a really big nuisance, I mean, I've heard of stories where alligators do get pretty close to tents and stuff. But that's rare. You know, I mean, really the biggest thing I'm just trying to be cautious about is just with snakes. I mean, there are snakes here, and just, you know, being aware of where I'm going, like walking. Like if I'm not gonna just troops out through some tall grass like a numbnut, you know. Stay where I can see what's in my surroundings. Just common sense. Site 479. But I'll get turned around. This is getting ready to dead end back here. We'll see, I'll finish off here. This is site 482 right here with this Cedar Creek fifth wheel. 483. You can see where part of the trail system comes out right here on that boardwalk. Actually, back that boardwalk is where we saw one of the alligators in kind of like a water inlet like that, like you see right there, but maybe like the next one over. Down there to the left is where sites like 1, 2, and 3 come in. I'm gonna head along down through the water here. There really isn't like terrible sites. Like I said, I just wouldn't want to be on the main road next time I come. That was 17 we just passed on the right. 19. $21. You got site 23. $25. These clam pop-up shelters, they're real popular in the park. I've seen a lot of those. 29. It got me to look up a YouTube video. Somebody setting one up. I mean, they literally just pop up. They look pretty easy, you know, set up within 60 seconds. Side 33. That's 35 over there. 37 over here on the waterfront. I'm naming all the waterfront sites. You know, you can look at a map and see what sites are across. Those Lance pickup 39. Those Lance truck bed toppers are awesome. I looked at them at an RV dealer show, and I mean, they're built really well. And like that one, you've got a slide on it. I could not believe how much room they had in those things. They're making kind of a comeback, especially for the people who like want to tow a big boat or something behind their truck. I mean, you got a place to sleep, air-conditioned space, and you can still tow like your big boat or whatever, you know, a trailer with side-by-sides and stuff on it. Site 45 here to the right. Here, we'll go down here. This is sites 46 through 55. Oh, there's a cool Intech trailer, the Soul. Those are made really well. They're aluminum cage structure. Site 48 right here. Site 49 with the little A. 50. I haven't done it's been a hot minute since I've done a video. I was in the Florida Keys last week, and so I haven't been sitting from my desk a whole lot. I can tell I'm like a little bit out of practice, like chattering away and stuff. So there's another loop opposite that loop we just went through. You got sites 104. Here I am right here with the Blue Cross Trek and the Winnebago view. As you can see, like I'm right here on this main road, like here comes a truck. This guy's doing a pretty good job of driving close to the right speed. Yeah, he's speeding up. Even some of the park employees like come through here faster than what they should. So, I mean, I've noticed the park, it's an awesome park, but I've noticed they don't like enforce a lot of the rules real well. And I don't know if it's just with the change in the times, with all the electric stuff we have today. Like, I mean, it's clearly in the Campground book, it says no motorized vehicles, like they're unlicensed. Well, I've seen Segways, I've seen full electric, basically electric mopeds. I mean, everybody's which is not a big deal. People are doing what they're supposed to do. Site 118. So, I mean, I guess they're just probably waiting to update some of their stuff. I mean, I'm on my one wheel, which in theory it's an electric vehicle. And I haven't been riding it really most of the week because I was reading the rules. Well, I'll follow the rules. But then I started seeing like these electric, basically scooters flying around going 30 mile an hour. I thought, well, hell, I'll tool around on my one wheel. If they say something to me, I'll just put it away. Here we'll go back here through, this is Bear Road right here. So these are the sites a little bit farther away from the water. That's site 123. This is sites 163 to 185. We had 164 over here to our right. 166. Normally I try to cover like every campsite in a campground, but I'm really just trying to get like a good overall of this campground, just because there are so many sites. This video would be forever long. And there's actually I don't remember whose YouTube channel it is, but there's a lady out there who's got a YouTube video, and I think her video has a picture of every single site. So that was really cool of her to do that. I'm sure if you Google or YouTube search for it, I mean, you'll find it. I didn't have a hard time finding it. Her video, it made it kind of hard to see like the reference of kind of like around the site. It was more like, I figured this would help just kind of show a wider spectrum of just kind of the sites and then what's closer around them, or what that area looks like, in a bigger picture. Because you're sitting there in your campsite, you're not just looking at the 100 square feet around you. I mean, you're looking at how as far as you can see and what your neighbors look like and all that kind of stuff. If there's trees, if it's full in the sun. Site 181. I mean, this place is hard to beat. I came in on a Saturday. See, there's no one of those clam shelters. I came in on a Saturday and I'm leaving on a Sunday. I got a full hookup site and it's $400. It was like $400. And like literally we can ride our bikes or jolt over to the beach on our car, have access to a super awesome pool. I mean, and of course for us, this is only 10 hours from home. So this is a legit place to bring the family and have a good time. There's tons of spaces to fit like large rigs, which I'm sure you can tell in my video. So if you've got you got a 45-foot Class A diesel pusher, I mean, there's plenty of sites in here that you can squeeze it into. You know, we talked to a couple people that are staying the maximum length, which I believe is 4 weeks. I would call and verify this yourself, but I think you can stay 4 weeks in the park, and you may have to switch sites once. Oh, there's a Veracruz. Renegade Veracruz, shout out, woo woo! I'm a Renegade dealer, if everybody doesn't know that. That's site 146. Yeah, back when I bought my motorhome, yeah, I knew I wanted something a little bit smaller, but I also I wanted a cab over bunk, and at the time Renegade didn't build like a Mercedes platform motorhome with the cab over bunk. They were all the low profile design, and they, of course, now they offer that. I mean, Renegade is I've been a Renegade dealer for 10 years plus. So at this point, they've expanded kind of their product offering and some of the options that they'll build on the coaches. I keep getting weird, like people always look at me when I'm out here shooting these videos, and I don't know if it's because oh, check out the cats in the window. I don't know if it's because I'm riding around on a one wheel or if it's because I'm holding up a camera. I can also tell I haven't rode my one wheel in a while. My feet are going a little numb. At least I haven't rode it any distance. So in the middle of the campground, you've got the activity center. So you've got tennis courts. You have that super awesome pool. You've got a camp store up here. And believe it or not, of all things I forgot my dang sewer hose. So I ended up running, there's a Walmart. You have a lot of stuff in this area. Like you feel kind of secluded in the state park and all the bike trails and stuff, but you're not far from the city. So there's a Walmart and a lot of stuff that you can, if you got to go pick up groceries or whatever. Publix, the Rouse's Market has awesome seafood options if you want to bring seafood back to your campsite to cook. But here's your pool here. The Nature Center, which I've got some footage of inside the Nature Center. That was super awesome. We got to see them feed snakes while we were in there. Your campground store is straight ahead right here along the water. Of course, another bathroom area. They've got a place over here to launch a boat if you want to into the lake, and then there's also a canal attached to the lake. So I just turned out of the road that goes back to the pool, and like right here you've got site 192, and this is all on the main road. That's a casita, those are cool. But and I'm actually a Cortez camper dealer. They're a double haul, so a little better for 4 season. But 193, once again, we're on this main road. Like this is, I'm sure they get a little less traffic back here because you're farther back in the park and you're beyond the pool at this point. But still, I mean, this would be my one tip is, don't camp along the main road, especially if you got kids. That's, I mean, there's just a lot of traffic. I mean, as soon as I say that, here comes a diesel pusher down the road. Site 196. $197. $198. So this is Gator Road. I don't know if my one wheel is going to have enough battery to shoot a lot of this campground. This may be a 2-part series. So Gator Road, going the one way. Then you got Site 201. It's a cool little site there with the woods around the back end of it. That's Site 205. Site 210. Site 214, 216 over here. Of course, that's the pool and the tennis courts right behind them. We're coming along sites that are on the lakefront here. So 220. Of course, you got all these sites down the left-hand side, but I'll focus on the ones on the right here because you can look at a map to see what's across. You know, a lot of times in my videos, I'll talk about like how level sites are. Like these are all level. Like the level is not a problem. I mean, the bike trails are level. 226. You know, 227. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the cool things. You know, you got 28 miles of bike trail, 228. And like, I mean, it's all ages. I mean, whether it be young or older. I mean, they're even if you didn't have an e-bike. I mean, the trails are extremely, pretty much flat. I mean, they're pretty flat. I mean, throughout the whole park. So it's just a nice, fun ride. 237. I try not to show people if I don't have to. Well, just out of politeness, you know. You guys enjoy your day. 239. 241. 243 over here along the water. $247. Check out that cool rig over there they've made. It's like a little wagon. Rooftop tent on the truck. 249. 251. Obviously, it's impossible for me not to show people my video, but like if I see somebody, I try to turn the camera away from them. 253. 255. 257. 259, which is vacant right now. 261. 263. 265. 267. These are cool little sites. You're on the waterfront, but you got like a lot of grass behind you. So if you had a gator coming after you, which is not going to happen, at least I wouldn't think would happen, you'd at least see him coming for a little bit. 270. 271. I also feel like you have a lot more of a breeze over here on this side of the park. 272. 275. 277. You got 279 here in the corner. Good morning. 281 back here against the woods. Now we've now turned away from the waterfront. 283. You got 280 over here. 284. 295. 287. There's a View. Well, it's an Avion, but it's basically the exact same thing that we have. 291. $290. I mean, legit, there's really not a terrible site in the campground. I haven't seen the first site where I thought like, oh, there's no way you could get a motorhome leveled in there. This is Possum Road. So you got site, I think 317. The number was hard to read. Yeah, 319. We'll zip down through here real quick. 337 to my right over here. 339. 341. 343. 345. 347. 349. 351, 353. Ooh, hit a dip in the road. I haven't ate it in one of my videos yet, but I'm sure the day's coming. 355, 357, 359, 360, 361, 363, 365. And you can see the sites across look very similar, but it just gives you kind of reference point of what this area looks like. 368 here with the A. 370 something, 376 maybe? 372, yeah, I'm not sure what that one was, the number was missing. 374. 376 probably. 378. 379. 380 over here to the left. 383. 384. I'm not even like 100% sure. 385. I'm not even 100% sure where the world I'm at anymore. Like this campground's so big. I've taken these Grand Design on trade. They seem pretty well built. It seems pretty well as far as the average goes. 393 with the sweet GM. So here's another Grand Designs reflection. 395. $401. $403. So you got a little cul-de-sac back here. 404. 405. 406. 407. I like that 407. You got like trees and kind of back here in this cul-de-sac where you wouldn't get a lot of through traffic. 408. So I just came off of Possum Road and I'm back onto Campground Road. So this is, like I said, this is that main road going down through the park. So site 441. A little slobber there, sorry. 443 over here. 446. So I mean, there's tons of campsites on this main strip. And like I said, the farther you get back in the campground, yeah, I'm sure there's less traffic, but if possible, I would probably not want to be on Campground Road if I was staying here again. And I have a kid, I mean, keep in mind I have a kid, and I want them to be able to play and ride a bike and not have to worry about too much traffic. And it's not that like people come and just drive through the park. It's just that many people here that are just coming and going, you know, checking in, checking out, or headed out to go to the pool, or headed out to go to the beach, or headed out to go out to eat. I mean, we're looking at campsite 457, campsite 458. Got this Airstream in 459. Yeah, you got this 460, 461, 462, 463, 464. It's a nice Tiffin. 465, a little Wayfarer. 467. Of course, you got 468 over here. And this is the dead end of Campground Road to the very back of the park. Now you can continue on a bike or like my one wheel or whatever. You know, you go back to the park. There's a play structure back there. There's that butterfly garden if you go straight back. They've got that bouldering area, like rock climbing type stuff. I mean, once again, the place is awesome. There's like tons to do. I'm on the bike trail here where the Catman Trail and the Rosemary Dune Trail intersect, which they've got a cool butterfly garden. That's my kiddo over there. He's looking at a caterpillar they found. It's gonna be, boy, don't correct me on this, creating his catalyst, I believe, to become a butterfly. They got a little pavilion here. You can see people are kind of hanging out in the shade. And they got this like super cool boulder park. So you can do just a little bit of bouldering. The one over there's even got like climbing holds and stuff on it. So super cool little area along the bike path here. And the only way to get back here is to ride a bicycle. So definitely an active area down here. Little restroom over there in case. And there's like restrooms throughout the park along the trails. So in a butterfly garden, my wife corrected me, it is a chrysalis is what the caterpillar creates to become a butterfly. What is it? I think it's just chrysalis. Chrysalis is what she says. I am not the bug expert. So in the park, they do have some really cool primitive sites that are kind of in a wooded area. It looks like they've got 8 of them. That's site 7. Good morning. You've got site 6 here, site 5. Site 4. I don't think they have a ton of people that are doing primitive camping, but they do have some options for those people. I mean, these are cool little wooded sites. Once again, my name's Kyle Coberline. I'm a truck and RV sales consultant at Bluegrass International in Georgetown, Kentucky. I'm a Renegade dealer, a Cortez camper dealer, Midwest automotive dealer, and we're always entertaining brands. You know, we're trying to be kind of a high-end niche, sell a quality product. You know, not something you just you know, nothing we sell is built 60 a day. It's 1 and 2 a day. And that's just our little niche. There's nothing wrong with mass-produced stuff, and you know, obviously, the more you spend, the more luxury of something you get, whether it be a car, a motorhome, a home, you know, side by sides, anything. I mean, you know, boats. I mean, the more money you spend, the bigger, the badder boats you get, and that's kind of our little niche, is the higher end, nicer stuff. You know, we pride ourselves in being extremely knowledgeable, so that we can help customers. You know, I'm not just trying to sell a customer a truck or an RV. I mean, we want to be educational so a customer can make their own decision on what's best for them, so that whatever they end up with, whether it be bought from us or somebody else, that it's truly what they want and will enjoy traveling in or using for work. And there's a lot of people out there that I just don't, I mean, I have to buy things in life, and I just feel like it's hard to find people that just treat people right. And I feel like if you treat people right, it all works out at the end of the day. It really does. I mean, I think you build a good reputation for yourself as an informative person who just does the right thing, and it'll pan out. But I appreciate you checking out another one of my videos. You know, we love camping as a family. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps support my channel and the time I put into this. Anything I can ever do, never Never hesitate to reach out to me. You can call or text me. People do all the time. I get people who call me or text me that they bought a motorhome. I had nothing to do with it. They had never talked to me before, but they're somewhere with a panic and have a question about how to get something to work or having an issue. Happy to help. I mean, if there's something I can do to give guidance or make life a little easier, I mean, I'll do what I can within reason. I mean, you got to give me a little slack here, but I mean, I'll do what I can to help you out. But thanks again, and to the next one.